So, yeah, I mean, Rinna could have a great house if she wanted. She just isn't interested.
She doesn't care. Like she could definitely upgrade the home, but why? When the house is probably valued, that land is valued for so much. Why would you even upgrade the house?
I think Rinna likes things for free. I have a feeling.
Yes, yes. And the house is
Like,
nice. It's not like my style, but it's nice.
it's not my style at all, but the view is great. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I've come to this on my own, but I've done my deep diving and I think Schwartz and Sandy have, will speak and everything, but I think they've kind of broken up.
I think so too. I think there's definitely trouble in paradise. And again, they don't have the business that was tying them together. Tom Tom's on its way out. Like it seems like there's no, they're not trying to make it work with the women. He's not trying to talk to Katie. He's not trying to fix it with Ariana. It's like, what's the point? There's no connection.
I agree. Well, moving on. I mean, where do we even begin with it's one thing with Brit versus Kenya, but Porsha versus Kenya. I mean, there's a lot going on here, right?
A lot going on. I think Portia's like throwing kerosene on a fire that's already very active. Like, I don't think you need to be like, oh, I'm not filming and take the camera off of me and get the thing. She's being a little extra saying she's going to twirl on down to hell. I'm like, I thought you guys were friends. Like, again, Kenya did a horrible thing, but I thought you guys were friends. So, I don't know.
Well, I think now is like, Kenya put up this YouTube to say like, I will reveal all. And then Portia did her YouTube, and she's this whole thing where it's like Portia is saying what? First of all, she alleged that, I mean, this is where this borderlines, like, I always say, first, it's very hard to sue someone in the public eye for defamation. You are
Yeah,
a
fair,
public, it is so hard. But I
fair.
don't know, like when she started saying things like, implying that the pictures that she showed of Brit were underage. That's the exact word that she used, underage. I'm like, oh, I don't know about
Well,
this.
Britt said she did it when she was in high school and then did it again on a webcam. Obviously, the webcam is public, so she can't really sue for that. But if she's underage in those photos, then it's you're distributing child pornography.
Yeah. And then Portia also, and so then Kenya's like, oh, and give me a break. This is all clickbait. You're trying to make a dollar. But now it also comes out where Portia is like, someone on the show. Did you see this? Like it was last week or whatever. Someone on the show went to production and tried to get you fired, Kenya. And
Yes.
someone on the show gave her these pics of Brit. And
Yeah.
Kenya's like, go the hell away. This is clickbait. Nobody gave me these pictures from the show. And she's like, someone went to production. So now there's this Ming Lee or whatever her name is,
Saw.
Ming,
Mm-hmm.
that she dated Rick Ross, and then Britt dated Rick Ross, and they're saying she did it, and she's not even the main character on the show. And I don't know. This is Portia versus Kenya, man.
It's a lot. And when did YouTube become the default response vehicle for Bravo Labs? I mean, it's very odd. I was like, what?
I have no idea. I really, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, did someone on the cast really try to get Kenya? Were they? And she's Portia is like, girl, and she says, we talked about this. You and I talked about this. You know exactly who it is. Now you're pretending like you got these pictures from the internet. You know who it is. We've talked about this. You know that I went to production to tell them to ignore this person and that I was on your side.
Mm,
Apparently, these two are done, Kenya and
these
Portia.
two are done. Well, you know what's interesting is like what Britt said was like, I scrubbed the internet of all those photos. And you can hire someone that, but with the internet, there's no way to scrub everything. You can hire a company that, like, especially when you're underage, that would really scrub it. But things can end up in the deep web. They can end in the dark web. They can come up. People can, PIs know how to track stuff down. I just think that there was such an opportunity for Kenya to just throw her out, take her flowers, walk out with her, have security remove her, and then that would be it. But sometimes your karma gets you and your ego just gets in your way. Because she could have really just, what did she do? That whole stunt wasn't even funny. It was just awkward.
It was awkward. What about, Brit? I think she was on Watch What Happens, where she said, let me be very, or she did some interview. Maybe this was Watch What Happens. And she let me be very clear. I'm scared to film with Kenya. I don't want to film with her. And she says, if she just humbled herself, which I don't know about Kenya humbling herself, and she apologized to me directly, she says she's sorry. She's sorry. She's never come face to face with me and apologized. If she just apologized, it'd be a
Hmm.
place to start.
I
What
don't
do
think she
you?
apologized because probably the lawyer is like, if you apologize and you're going to take culpability, you can't apologize. if there's going to be a lawsuit at some point, you can't. And Kenya's not going to apologize to her because she doesn't respect her. And then now Kelly apparently is now on Kenya's side. So I'm like, that's, I don't know. It's kind of annoying watching these shows now because they spoil it. Because now I'm like, okay, well, Kelly's all nice to Britt, and that's going to go to hell. I'm like, oh, geez.
But you know what is interesting to me is like to me, not only is this season of RHOA, I mean, better than the past,
Yeah,
better than it's been, but all this stuff like off air that's now going on, I find so much more interesting than anything we've had in RH. I mean,
I
no
agree.
offense to anyone, but last season we were dealing with Sanya, Marlo, and Sheree.
Yeah, no,
Womp womp, as far as I'm
no,
concerned.
I agree. It was like her waiting for her man, like in Philly at a restaurant. Like that was the height of, and then it was like Chateau Charest. I'm like, nothing was happening. So this is better, and I also feel like getting into the nitty gritty of like, and I think the way that Britt is handling it is very like she's not like trying to retaliate to Kenya. She's just becoming the victim, and I think that's very smart. The way she's done interviews, she's always wearing a pantsuit and look in like really power pose, and she's not the victim. And I'm sorry, she is the victim, and she's not acting like, oh, I'm gonna get her one day. She's just like, let's play that victim role really well.
She was on Watch What Happens and she's like, Kenya tried to like punk me, but she ended up like planning her own funeral. And
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean, look, Brit is not necessarily going anywhere. So the people don't seem to love her, I have to say. People are very angry at her still.
People are angry at her, and I at first I agreed, but the way that Kenya presented that whole thing and the way she did it, I thought that she was going to show these photos at like a brunch with all the girls. I thought, okay, what's the big deal? But I didn't know it was a room full of press, videos, people recording, all these people she don't know. She's not even in the room. Like it was a lot worse to witness it than what I thought it was. So I think that's what kind of annoyed me is the way that it was done. Because she could have done it in like I don't know. She could have even sent the pictures to her house.
Yeah. Yes, I just, oh God. I mean, apparently she also, I don't know where I saw this. Apparently she went to HR. That's what she says. She actually went to production and they didn't want to help her. So, I mean, like, because I kept saying, you should have just gone. Like, instead of doing this, you should have gone. You should have been the victim. You should have been like, did anyone hear about the pistol or this or that?
Right.
Although Andy did, like, first of all, Andy works for the network and he was a producer. So Andy's trying to drive the point home, like on Watch What Happens. Like, now, did you have a gun with you that night? Okay, you didn't. So he's obviously trying to explain to
Obviously, she's not going
everyone.
to say yes. I had a whole arsenal, like artillery in my back. I mean, she's not going
Right. Like, what is she going to say? And Andy's trying to point out, like, everyone, this is why we didn't fire her. Well, you obviously didn't fire her. So you have to now back up your decision because you're a producer and all you
to.
care about is your own fucking money,
100%.
which it is what it is. What do you think of this? Erika Jayne, her lawyer,